Hey, Chanel here with another SewBit. Today we're talking about one of my favorite design techniques. It's called piping. What is piping? Well, piping is made out of cording. Well, some types of piping are. This is actually cording. You've probably seen these in the fabric stores around somewhere. This is another type of cording. You'll find these more in the upholstery sections. They're a little bit softer, got a little weirder fill in it. This is close up on this one. It's just like a bunch of cords wrapped up together, and they come in different widths. You'll find them in smaller, wider, that kind of thing. So what is piping? Piping is, I thought I had a sample here. Here is a black one. That's a real small cord. It's wrapped, a bias strip is wrapped around the cord so that you can insert it in seams. Here's another one, small. It's got a raw edge. This raw edge doesn't fray because it's on the bias. Here are some packages of bias right here. They come with this is an old one. It's probably from the 70s. It's a tan. So there's the package, then it looks like this when it comes out. Here's another like sagey color. Definitely these two from the 70s. I was donated some things and they're probably from the 70s. But this right here gets inserted into seams, and then it gives you a real good contrast. It also defines seams. So actually a real good secret to dressing taller and thinner is to have vertical seams. And then if you can define vertical seams, then those verticals kind of make you look taller and thinner, like, oh. So I did a sample run of some pipings. Now, pipings, I actually don't have any piping cordings on here. I'm going to show you how to do it, and you'll see it. But this is like a ribbon cord, and perfect example of that is this skirt that I just made. This is one of the Chloe's, and I put this ribbon bias, or it's actually, this is just a ribbon, it's not even on the bias, and bias you use so that it can curl around, because bias stretches and curves really easy. This is straight grain, so it's only good for just real straight pieces. You can actually kind of see how it puckered here a little bit. I don't know, I did something weird to it, but I separated all the seams with this ribbon, and that's an example of this, and this is what the ribbon looked like. I actually cut it in half, and then I use this organza part to go into the seam. And then here is that same ribbon right here. I fold it in half and then use the organza as the bias piping in there. And then here is, this is just bias tape, like that. It's the, what do they call this, a double fold. And then I folded it in half like that, and then put it into the seam. And you can make it as small as you want or as wide as you want. Here is just a zigzag that I put into a seam. And then here is a ribbon, this, like, I call it the road ribbon, and I put it into the seam. And here is, used to do a NASCAR kids line called Race City Kids Couture. It's really cute. And so I have this left over. This is like the flag, and then it's enclosed in a seam. And then here is a ribbon, or like a lace embroidery enclosed in a seam. So my next one, I'm going to put in a piping with a cording, and that's what we're talking about here today. So here is the cording, and here is a bias strip right here. If you don't know about bias, on my SewBits, I actually did a list of SewBits because I'm up to, like, is this number 49? Yes, I think this is SewBit number 49. So I had to make a list of all my SewBits. So number 19 is how to use bias tape, and this is a bias tape right here. So this is another way of using it. And then number 18 is all about grain lines in fabrics. So you got your length grain, your cross grain, and then your bias. So you can actually cut your own biases. So I want to show you how to do today is to take a bias strip and wrap it in the cord, sew it alongside here, and then you insert it into your fabric, and then that creates that really cool piping effect. So I'm going to get to the machine. Okay, we start with changing the presser foot to the zipper foot, and we got to decide which side we're going to be sewing on. So we're going to, a lot of times they'll put tape on these things because they fray so bad, so I'm actually going to keep it there. We just put that right in the center of that. We decided that this zipper foot is going to go on that side. So put that right there. I'm going to sew with white thread. You would use black on this because sometimes the thread will show. And I'm going to put it on basting, the basting stitch right here, the longest stitch. I'm going to try to hug that up as close as I can and get that piping right in the center of the bias. And if you have to pin it at first, that's not a bad idea. And then we're going to just sew. It takes a little bit of time to get it started. And I'm going to line up my raw edges right here. I'm pulling this back thread to kind of help it. I'm trying to hug that up as close to the cording as I can without messing up these two raw edges here. Definitely do some practicing. It feels weird, but I think it's getting in there. Okay. Get that in there. Sometimes too, you might want to even cross over your cording a little bit there, because sometimes it'll slip. So now we have a nice cording right here. There's your piping. Not cording, that's the cording, this is the piping now. Now we want to attach it to the fabric. So I have this white piece of fabric here, and I'm going to baste it on here. Also, if your seam allowance is 5/8, you might want to make sure that you're sewing 5/8 in here. Actually, I could put the 5/8 magnet right there. See where that's at. And then you want that to be right on the edge, or that basting part here, right on the edge of your 5/8, so that when you put your other one in there, actually all we got to do is baste this though. So so I know I've got about a hair past that, so I can actually look at just that part here. I just got a little bit past, that should line up on the 5/8. I'm just going to baste this down. Sometimes you can pin it and stuff, but I really find if you just baste it, it just eliminates a lot of problems later, problems matching it up. Just do a quick baste stitch. Got to add the other fabric. So now it's basted on here, and from this white raw edge to that seam right there where the cording should be 5/8 right there, and you can measure and mark all that. Now I want to sew it to this end right here. So then I'm going to move this. We're going to put this right sides together here, and might want to start pinning it here. Now this is pretty simple because it's a straight edge, but you might have like a curved edge, or it's hard to put through. That fabric doesn't like to pin. It's some kind of little ultra suede fabric. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to hug this up right at 5/8. It's right there. I actually know right because it's going right in that cording. Get started. So reverse. This is where you would actually then put your stitch on the number, not the basting stitch, and then just really get right in to the corners there. I don't say corners, but right into that ditch, and also still keeping this raw edge even. Because now you're sewing your garment pieces together. There. It should be sewing showing. Right on that 5/8 inch line. And sometimes if you don't get it close enough, you can actually go back over it the second time and get in there just a little bit more. Okay, so let's see what I got. There's my piping right there. It looks good. So see, actually I have some of that stitch showing right there. That would have been black too if I was really making that. And then have it right there. So actually, if it was really showing, I could go in there sometimes once it's stitched again, and then really get it, once it's stitched, really get it in there. So see, I'm already going like another whole 1/8 of an inch. And hugging that. I also might find there's some other presser feet, which I don't have, that might sew closer. Different size zipper feet. You don't want to get too many stitches in here, because if you ever have to take it out, it'll be way too hard. Okay. Now let's see if I got any closer. Ta-da. A little bit closer, yep. And if that were black, that'd be fine. Yeah, actually, yep, right there. I've got nothing right there. All right, that looks pretty. And it's a little suede cord. It's really pretty. There is your piping in that set. Well, there you have it. Really pretty piping. I love this one. It's like suede. Looks really good. There is a close-up of that. Goes along with my lovely sample of pipings. Pretty cool. Got to show all the possibilities. I wanted to show you also these splice skirts that I did. I put, there's all these like kind of slightly curved lines, and I sectioned them off with, there weren't cordings in there, but I put a black one on this end right here, the suede fabric, and then I put a brown one there, and then there's this skirt too. This was just a 1-layer bias strip I got from the Fat Quarters. It was a batik, and I put it in between those layers. So same skirt, whole different look. So think about using piping in any of your designs, and great way to emphasize the seams and put some really cool designs into your skirts. All right, don't forget to subscribe and check out those other SewBits on bias grain and bias tape. Two same words. What were they? Number 19 and 18. And I'll see you in the next SewBit.